Father, tonight I come to you honest about something I have carried for a long time. I am tired of getting close. I am tired of watching good things stop just before they become real. Thank you for how far you have brought me already. Thank you for every open door, every fresh start, every second chance you gave me when I did not deserve one. Thank you for life, for breath, for mercy that renews itself every single morning. Tonight, I do not want to spend a long time explaining how many times I have almost arrived. I want to bring it honestly before you and ask you, Father, to finish what you started in me. Thank you for salvation. Thank you for the blood of Jesus that made a way for me to stand in your presence without fear. Thank you for the opportunities you have opened, even the ones I have not yet walked all the way through. Thank you for every step forward, no matter how small, because I know none of it happened by accident. You have been patient with me. You have kept doors open longer than I deserved. Tonight, I do not come with a long list of complaints. I come with a tired but grateful heart, asking you to help me carry the good things you have already begun in my life all the way to a real result. Father, when I am honest, I think about how many good beginnings I have actually had over the years. I have started strong more times than I can count. Excitement came easily. Motivation came easily. I moved forward with real energy more than once. But somewhere along the way, distraction arrived, or fear arrived, or a new idea arrived, and the momentum quietly broke. Years later, I look back and see a life full of promising starts and very few finished chapters. Tonight, I am not asking you for another beginning. I have had enough beginnings. I am asking you for grace to finish. Father, I lay before you the things that are sitting unfinished. The project I started with excitement and have not touched in months. The decision I keep circling without landing on. The relationship I meant to repair and never followed through on. The habit I tried to build 3 times and abandoned 3 times. The opportunity that is still sitting there, half pursued, neither taken nor released. I am not bringing you a crisis tonight. I am bringing you a pattern. A pattern of reaching a good place and stopping there instead of pressing on to something whole. I confess the frustration underneath all of this. I am frustrated with cycles that repeat. I am frustrated that effort does not always turn into evidence. I am frustrated with myself when I look back and see how many good beginnings never became finished work. There is a fear underneath the frustration too, Father, and I want to be honest about it. A fear that trying again will only lead to another near miss. A fear that if I pour myself back into something, I will simply arrive at the edge of it again and stop. That fear has made me hesitant in ways I do not always admit out loud. It has made me slow to commit fully, slow to plan seriously, slow to hope with my whole heart, because part of me has already braced for another near miss. Tonight I bring that fear to you. Instead of letting it quietly manage my decisions, I confess how easily my focus scatters. I confess that I sometimes start something new because it feels exciting, while something older and more important sits waiting for my attention. I confess slow progress that discouraged me more than it should have. I confess days where I measured myself only by what remained unfinished and forgot to be grateful for what had genuinely moved forward. Father, you know my heart, and you know I am not asking you to erase effort. I am asking you to help that effort finally produce fruit. I bring my own part in this honestly. Procrastination that delayed things I could have started sooner. Inconsistency that broke momentum I had already built. Distraction that pulled my attention toward whatever was easiest instead of whatever mattered most. Poor planning that left me surprised by problems I could have prepared for. A pattern of avoiding the hardest, final steps of something while telling myself I was simply waiting for the right moment. A habit of starting new things before finishing what already belonged to me. A habit of giving up just before the harder middle stretch turned into something real. A habit of resisting correction because it felt like criticism instead of help. And Father, I confess the times I kept forcing a plan forward long after you had stopped sustaining it, simply because I did not want to have wasted the effort. Forgive me for all of this, not with shame, but with the confidence that you are patient and you are able to help me change. Here is what I want to say plainly tonight. I keep getting close. Father, teach me how to finish faithfully. Teach me what it looks like to carry something all the way to the end instead of stopping just short of it. I do not want another season defined by how near I came. I want a season defined by what actually became real. I worship you now as the faithful finisher. Long before I understood what it meant to complete anything, you were already completing your good work in me. I worship you as a wise father who does not simply hand me tasks and walk away, but who stays close, correcting, strengthening, and guiding me toward the end of every good thing you have started. I worship you as the source of strength when my own strength runs low in the middle of something difficult. I worship you as the Lord of endurance, who has never once grown tired of helping me try again. I worship you as the God who establishes the work of human hands, taking what is fragile and unfinished and giving it a foundation that can stand. Tonight my heart bows before you, not because I have finished everything, but because I trust you to finish what belongs to you in me. There is a man in scripture whose story fits exactly where I am tonight. His name was Nehemiah, and he carried a burden for a broken wall around a city that mattered to him. He did not act on that burden right away. He prayed first for days before he made a single move. He wept over the report of a broken city, sat with the weight of it, and asked you for favor before he ever approached anyone about it. When the moment came, he assessed the situation honestly, rode out at night to see the damage for himself, and made a plan before announcing anything. Then he began. He organized the people, assigned families and workers to specific sections of the wall, and the work moved forward with real, visible momentum. Stone by stone, the gaps that had embarrassed the city for years started closing, and people who had grown used to the ruins began to believe completion was actually possible again. But almost as soon as real progress appeared, distraction appeared with it. Men came to Nehemiah with an invitation. Let us meet together, they said, suggesting a plain outside the city. It sounded harmless. It sounded even respectful. Nehemiah understood something many of us miss. He understood that not every invitation deserves an answer, and not every request that sounds reasonable is actually good for the work in front of him. He sent back a simple, direct answer. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it to come down to you? They tried again. He answered the same way. They tried a third time, and then a fourth, then a fifth. Each attempt dressed differently, each one aimed at the same goal, pulling him away from what needed to be finished. False accusations followed, letters designed to intimidate him, rumors meant to make him doubt himself and abandon the project out of fear. An open letter accused him of planning a rebellion, something he had never intended, hoping the fear of that accusation would make him stop and come explain himself. He did not take the bait. He answered plainly that the accusation was false and kept building through all of it. Nehemiah kept walking, he kept praying, he kept refusing distractions disguised as opportunities. And eventually, in 52 days, the wall reached completion. Here is the revelation underneath that story that I need tonight. One of the greatest threats to Nehemiah finishing the wall was never his ability to build it. He clearly had the skill and the organization to complete the work. The greatest threat was being repeatedly pulled away from what he had already begun. Distraction wearing the face of opportunity, interruption wearing the face of urgency. Father, show me where the same thing has been happening in my own life. Show me what keeps pulling me away from work you have already placed in my hands. Show me the invitations, the requests, the new ideas I keep calling opportunities that are actually just another version of the same interruption Nehemiah faced on the plain. Show me what genuinely deserves a no from me. Show me what genuinely deserves sustained, focused attention. Teach me, Father, to protect the work you have already started in and through me, the same way Nehemiah protected that wall. If you have been listening tonight and you recognize yourself in this, I want to speak plainly to you for a moment before we return to prayer. You are not lacking ability, you are not lacking ideas. What keeps happening is that something newer or easier keeps showing up right when the work in front of you gets difficult, and you keep letting that newer thing pull your attention away. Not every new opportunity deserves the same attention as the work God has already placed in your hands. Some invitations are simply the plain of honor, wearing a different outfit, you are allowed to answer them the way Nehemiah did. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. Father, help that truth take root in me tonight. Let it not simply be information I heard, but wisdom I actually apply. The next time distraction shows up asking for my attention, I worship you now, Lord Jesus, as the faithful Lord who never abandons what he starts. I worship you as the strengthener who meets me in the exhausting middle stretch of every assignment. I worship you as the guide who knows exactly which steps come next, even when I cannot see them yet. I worship you as the Lord of wisdom, able to show me in a moment what years of my own effort could not reveal. I worship you as the finisher who took the work of redemption all the way to its completion at the cross and did not stop halfway, because you finish what you begin. I trust you to help me finish what you have genuinely begun in me. Father, move the important areas of my life from almost into faithful completion. Lord, give me grace to finish what you have genuinely placed in my hands. Give me finishing grace tonight, Lord. There are places in my life where I have lost momentum, where the excitement of the beginning has faded and only the harder, ordinary middle remains. Give me the strength to keep going there. Give me grace not only to begin well, which has never been my real struggle, but to finish faithfully, which has been the actual battle. Where I have half-finished work sitting quietly in the background of my life, breathe fresh strength into it tonight. Where I have set something down and told myself I will come back to it later, and later never came, reawaken my resolve to actually return to it. Where discouragement crept in right before the final stage, remove that discouragement and replace it with steady resolve. Where fear of being evaluated at the end has made me slow down on purpose, deliver me from that fear. Your word tells me that you who began a good work in me will carry it on to completion. I hold on to that promise tonight, not to guarantee every plan of mine succeeds exactly as I imagined it, but to anchor my confidence in your faithful nature as the one who completes what he starts. Zechariah spoke a word once concerning Zerubbabel, that the same hands that laid the foundation of the temple would also finish it, not by might and not by power, but by your spirit. Father, let that word settle over me tonight. The same hands that began this work in me, whether they felt strong or weak at the start, can receive grace to finish it, because it was never about my own strength in the first place. It was always about your spirit working through willing hands. I will not grow weary in doing good, because in due season I will reap a harvest. If I do not give up, I receive grace not only to begin well, but to finish faithfully. I will not abandon good work simply because the final stage feels difficult. I receive strength for completion tonight, in Jesus' name. Deliver me now, Father, from the distraction that has cost me so much. I confess that I let too many ideas compete for my attention at once. I confess that unnecessary conversations, constant notifications, and the pressure to please everyone around me have pulled focus away from what actually matters. I confess a quiet fear of missing out that has made me chase things I never should have started chasing in the first place. Father, give me the same clarity Nehemiah had on the plain outside the city. Help me recognize a distraction the moment it introduces itself as an opportunity. Give me discernment to see which requests deserve my time and which ones are simply designed to interrupt the work already in front of me. Give me boundaries that protect what matters. Give me the concentration to stay at the wall until it is finished, instead of coming down every time someone calls my name. Here is what I am beginning to understand, Father. Finishing requires humility to stop giving every new idea, every invitation, and every demand the same amount of attention. I cannot treat every request as equally important and still expect to complete anything of real substance. Teach me to say a genuine, unapologetic no to good things, so that I can say a wholehearted yes to the few things that actually matter. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. I declare that over every distraction that shows up tonight and every distraction that will show up tomorrow. Not everything deserves my attention. I receive wisdom to protect what matters. I will not trade important completion for endless activity. Show me, Father, why I keep stopping short. I do not want a vague answer. I want real clarity. Where fear has been the reason, expose it and remove its grip. Where poor preparation has been the reason, Teach me to prepare properly next time instead of relying only on excitement. Where a lack of a certain skill has been the reason, lead me to the training, the mentor, the resource I actually need. Where inconsistency has been the reason, strengthen my discipline. Where wrong timing has been the reason, give me patience to wait for your timing instead of forcing mine. Where pride kept me from asking for help, humble me gently and teach me that asking is not weakness. Where avoidance has been the reason, quietly steering me away from the hardest, final steps, give me courage to walk directly toward them instead. Where unrealistic planning set me up to fail from the very beginning, give me wisdom to plan honestly next time. Your word reminds me that no one builds a tower without first sitting down to count the cost, to see if there is enough to finish it. Forgive me for the times I began without counting the cost honestly, and then grew discouraged when the real cost turned out to be higher than I expected. Teach me to plan with open eyes next time, so that when I begin again, I begin ready to actually finish. Expose what I keep repeating. Father, show me what part belongs to discipline, what part belongs to wisdom, what part requires patience, and what part requires an entirely different strategy. And having shown me, give me the courage to actually change. Give me endurance, Lord, for the last stretch of every assignment. So many things do not fail at the beginning, they fail near the end, when the excitement has worn off and only ordinary faithfulness remains. Your word tells me not to throw away my confidence because it carries a great reward. It tells me I need endurance so that after I have done your will, I will receive what has been promised. Give me that endurance tonight. When fatigue tries to convince me to quietly quit before the finish, strengthen me. When delayed results tempt me to believe nothing is actually happening, remind me that growth is often invisible before it becomes obvious. When boredom tries to make ordinary faithfulness feel pointless, give me steadiness anyway. When the applause of the beginning has faded and no one is watching the middle stretch, help me remain faithful there too, because you are watching, and that is enough. Paul could say near the end of his life that he had fought the good fight and finished the race. That is what I want to be able to say too. Not about every small task, but about the assignments that genuinely matter. Your word tells me the end of a thing is better than its beginning. And tonight I choose to believe that even in the places where the ending has felt slower to arrive than I expected it to, I do not need every stage to feel exciting. I receive grace for the ordinary walk between beginning and completion. I will remain faithful when applause is absent, because you see what others do not see. Father, I am starting to see that finally often does not begin with a sudden miracle. It begins the moment I stop asking you only for a breakthrough and start asking you to help me protect the ordinary focus that completion actually requires. So tonight I am not only asking for a miracle, I am asking for the discipline to guard what deserves my attention until it is genuinely finished. Let one important area of my life cross the line tonight, Father. I am not asking you to instantly complete everything I have ever started. I am asking you to move at least one meaningful thing from stalled progress into real visible fruit. One delayed project, one unfinished responsibility, one important decision I have been circling for too long, one pending process that has felt stuck no matter how much effort I've poured into it, one useful habit I keep starting and abandoning, one conversation that needs to actually happen instead of being postponed again, one meaningful goal that has stayed just out of reach for longer than it should have. Let movement become an actual result. Let clarity replace endless delay. Let courage meet me exactly at the final step where fear has usually stopped me before. The step where I have historically slowed down, second-guessed myself, or quietly walked away without ever formally deciding to quit. Let what has remained 90% complete finally receive a faithful ending. Maybe it is something in my work, a project that has stalled longer than it should have. Maybe it is something in my family, a conversation or a repair that keeps getting quietly postponed. Maybe it is something connected to my health, a habit I have started and restarted more times than I can count. Maybe it is something in my walk with you, a discipline of prayer or study I have meant to build consistently and have not yet sustained. I do not know which area you will move first, Father, but I trust you to know, and I ask you to begin there tonight. Give me discernment, Lord, to release what should not be finished. This matters as much as everything else I have prayed tonight. Do not let me finish something simply because I already started it. If a certain part is no longer aligned with what you are actually doing in my life, give me the peace to release it without guilt. If I have been forcing a plan forward out of fear of wasted effort rather than genuine conviction, give me the wisdom to see that clearly. If the assignment you originally gave me has changed shape, make that change obvious to me instead of letting me stay committed to an outdated version of it. Completion, Father, was never meant to be stubbornness. It was never meant to be finishing something just to prove I could. Let obedience to you remain more important to me than my own ego or my own need to be seen as someone who always follows through no matter what. Father, I know this is a delicate thing to ask because I do not want to use it as an excuse to quit whenever something becomes difficult. Give me the wisdom to tell the difference between a hard season that still deserves my endurance and a wrong assignment that only deserves my release. Let me not confuse discomfort with disobedience, and let me not confuse stubbornness with faithfulness. Here is a truth I need to speak to myself tonight, and maybe you need to hear it too if you have quietly started believing that almost is simply how your life is always going to work. Repeated incompletion can become familiar, but familiar does not mean permanent. A pattern that has followed you for years can still change through grace, through wisdom, through renewed focus, and through faithful action, taken one step at a time. You are not doomed to keep stopping at the edge of things. Grace is available for exactly this. You have not disqualified yourself by how many times you have stopped short. Tonight can be the night the pattern actually begins to shift. Not because you suddenly found more willpower, but because grace met you honestly where you were. Return with me now to prayer. Let completion become a new pattern in my life, Father, not a rare exception. Let reliability become part of who I actually am, not just something I hope to be described as. Let follow through become a habit instead of an occasional accident. Let trustworthiness grow in me until the people around me learn that my yes actually carries weight and my commitments are followed by real action instead of good intentions that quietly fade. Let planning become something I take seriously instead of something I skip because I am excited to start. Let one finished thing tonight become the foundation of confidence for the next one, and let that confidence carry into the one after that until faithful completion is simply how I live. Let this become the testimony of my life over time. Not that I never struggled, but that I learned by your grace to carry things through to a real and honest end. May unfinished work in my life receive renewed strength tonight. May distraction lose the hold it has had over my attention. May my priorities become clearer than they have been in a long time. May endurance increase in me for every remaining stretch ahead. May fear of the final step grow weaker every time I face it. May wisdom expose exactly what needs to be adjusted in how I have been walking. May unnecessary commitments become easier for me to release without guilt. May one important delayed area of my life begin moving toward a faithful, visible result. May reliability become a defining part of my character. May the work of my hands become more established than it has ever been. May I stop measuring my life only by what almost happened and start recognizing what has genuinely been completed. May you give me grace, Father, to finish what truly belongs to my assignment, and wisdom to release what does not. Show me what deserves completion, what requires adjustment, and what I should finally release. Father, I am not asking for a miracle that removes all effort from my life. I am asking you to protect my focus, strengthen my hands, and walk with me through the ordinary, unglamorous work of carrying things to a real conclusion. Tonight, Father, I trust you with the finishing. I release the frustration I have carried about how long some things have taken. I release the fear that nothing in my life will ever actually reach completion. I release the unfinished things I cannot solve before morning, because trying to solve everything tonight was never your invitation to me. What I need now is rest, not another hour of pressure. I receive clarity for what tomorrow requires. I receive rest for what tonight does not require. tomorrow I will return to what matters. Tomorrow I will protect my focus the way Nehemiah protected his. Tomorrow I will take the next faithful step in front of me instead of trying to see the whole staircase at once. Tonight I do not need to finish everything. I need to rest beneath the God who gives strength for completion and who has never once abandoned the work he genuinely started. I am not surrendering the work itself, Father. I am surrendering my grip on controlling exactly how and when it comes together. I trust your timing more than I trust my own timeline. I trust your wisdom about what tomorrow actually requires more than I trust my own anxious planning tonight. Whatever is unfinished when I wake up will still be there waiting for me, and I will meet it with a clearer mind and steadier hands, because tonight I chose rest instead of striving. The Lord is my shepherd, and I lack nothing tonight. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul, and he guides me along right paths for his own name's sake. Even walking through the hardest, most unfinished parts of my life, I will not fear, because he is with me. You, Lord, will keep me in perfect peace because my mind is fixed on you, because I am trusting you tonight instead of trying to control every outcome myself. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Let my thoughts grow quiet now. Let my body actually rest. Let hope remain steady in me even where things still look unfinished. Let tomorrow find me clearer, calmer, and more focused than I was today. You are not permanently defined by what nearly happened in your life. You are not the sum of every project that stalled or every plan that lost momentum. Nehemiah did not allow every invitation and every interruption to pull him away from the wall that genuinely needed to be finished. And neither must you allow every distraction to define how your story ends. You can focus, you can say no to what does not deserve your attention right now. You can return tomorrow to the work you have been avoiding. You can receive correction without treating it as rejection. You can change strategy without treating it as failure. You can stay faithful through the boring middle and the difficult final stretch, even when no one is applauding. You can also release with real peace whatever God is no longer asking you to carry. You do not need to complete everything tonight. You are allowed to rest and return tomorrow with clearer focus and a steadier hand. A new pattern of follow-through can genuinely begin in your life starting now, not because you have suddenly become perfect, but because grace is being extended to you tonight to move beyond endless beginnings. Protect what matters, follow through faithfully, and carry the assignments God has truly given you toward the completion he always intended for them. I worship you one final time tonight as the faithful finisher who never grows tired of helping me try again. I worship you as the good shepherd who leads me gently even through unfinished seasons. I worship you as the God of wisdom who always knows the next right step. I worship you as the Lord of endurance who strengthens tired hands. I worship you as the Prince of Peace who quiets every anxious thought before I close my eyes tonight. Father, thank you for hearing this prayer all the way through. Even the parts that were more honest confession than confident declaration. Thank you for not requiring me to have everything figured out before I could come to you. Thank you for meeting me exactly at the point of my exhaustion tonight, and for promising to meet me again tomorrow with fresh strength. Thank you for meeting me honestly where I am instead of where I pretend to be. Thank you for grace that finishes what it starts. I trust you with tonight, and I trust you with tomorrow. In the name of Jesus.